Something strange is happening in the UK SUV market. A brand most buyers had barely heard of 2 years ago has suddenly jumped near the top of the sales charts. And now, the 2026 JAECOO 7 SHS has just landed. And within weeks, it's already climbing toward the #2 bestseller position in its segment. Which raises a very uncomfortable question. Did UK buyers just quietly humiliate the big brands? Because this SUV is doing something that cars from Toyota, Kia, Hyundai, and even Volkswagen have struggled to do lately: deliver premium design, hybrid efficiency, luxury interior, and a price that undercuts almost everything. So today, let's take a proper look at the 2026 JAECOO 7 SHS and why it's suddenly causing such a shock in the UK market. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're breaking down the design, interior, features, performance, comfort, price, and after-sales support of the new JAECOO 7 SHS, and why this SUV might be one of the biggest disruptors in the UK right now. Let's start with the design, because this is the first place where the JAECOO 7 begins to make the big brands a little uncomfortable. At first glance, this SUV immediately gives off a much more premium presence than you might expect. The front end is bold and upright, dominated by a large vertical slat grille that gives the car a very confident face on the road. It's the kind of grille design that feels deliberately premium, almost like something you'd expect from a much more expensive European SUV. And right in the center, that large JAECOO lettering makes sure nobody misses the badge. Flanking that grille are sharp LED headlamps with a distinctive geometric daytime running light signature. The lighting design is crisp and modern, and at night, it gives the JAECOO 7 a very recognizable road presence. It's clean, aggressive, and very much in line with what today's UK buyers expect from a modern SUV. Move your eyes down toward the bumper, and things get even more interesting. You'll notice sculpted air intakes, layered aero elements, and strong contrasting trim pieces that add a bit of attitude to the front fascia. This isn't a shy design. It's clearly built to stand out in a segment where many SUVs are starting to look a little safe. And if we move to the side profile, the proportions really start to shine. The JAECOO 7 has a strong shoulder line running the length of the body, giving it a solid and planted stance. The slightly sloping roofline adds just enough sportiness without sacrificing rear headroom. Large alloy wheels fill the arches nicely, while the black contrast roof option gives the car a more premium two-tone look that many UK buyers absolutely love. The body surfaces themselves are surprisingly sophisticated. You get smooth reflections across the panels, subtle sculpting along the doors, and a design language that feels modern without being overly complicated. Then around the back, the JAECOO 7 finishes things off with a full-width LED light bar stretching across the tailgate. It's clean, minimalist, and very contemporary. The rear bumper features layered detailing and sporty accents that add a bit of visual aggression, but without going over the top. Overall, the design strikes a clever balance. It looks premium enough to sit next to SUVs like the Kia Sportage or Volkswagen Tiguan, but it also has its own identity. And that might explain why so many UK buyers are suddenly paying attention. Because when a new brand shows up with a design this confident, people start asking some very uncomfortable questions about the old favorites. Step inside the JAECOO 7 SHS. And this is where things get genuinely interesting, because the interior does not feel like a budget SUV. The dashboard layout is wide and horizontal, creating a very spacious feeling cabin. In the center sits a large floating infotainment display paired with a fully digital driver cluster. The graphics are clean, the interface is fast, and the layout feels intuitive. But what really stands out is the materials. Soft touch surfaces across the dash, contrasting stitching throughout the cabin, and textured panels that give the interior depth. The seats themselves are sport-inspired but extremely comfortable. They feature thick side bolsters, premium upholstery, and integrated headrests with branding. This is the kind of seat design you normally see in much more expensive SUVs. Ambient lighting runs across the dashboard and doors, creating a subtle glow at night that makes the cabin feel genuinely upscale. And in terms of practicality, rear passengers get generous legroom. The floor is nearly flat, and the boot space is competitive with segment leaders like the Kia Sportage and Nissan Qashqai. In other words, this isn't just a flashy cabin, it's designed to actually work for daily life in the UK. Now let's talk about technology, because this is where JAECOO is trying to seriously challenge the big brands. The The infotainment system supports Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, along with integrated navigation and over-the-air updates. You also get a 360-degree camera, adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, blind spot monitoring, and automatic emergency braking. Basically, the full modern safety suite. But there are also some nice touches: wireless charging, multiple USB ports, a premium sound system, and a digital interface that controls everything from drive modes to climate settings. The SHS hybrid system also includes detailed energy flow graphics, allowing drivers to see exactly how the car is using its power sources. It's small things like this that make the vehicle feel tech-forward rather than budget. Under the bonnet is where the SHS system really becomes interesting. SHS stands for Super Hybrid System, and the goal here is simple. Combine the efficiency of electrification with the flexibility of a petrol engine. The system pairs a turbocharged petrol engine with an electric motor and battery pack. The result is strong torque delivery, smooth acceleration, and excellent fuel economy. Official figures suggest the hybrid system can deliver very impressive efficiency for a vehicle in this class. But numbers only tell part of the story, because what matters most is how it actually feels on the road. And here's the surprise: the JAECOO 7 drives remarkably smoothly. The electric assistance helps eliminate the sluggish feeling that some hybrid SUVs suffer from. Acceleration is responsive, power delivery is linear, and the transition between electric and petrol power is barely noticeable. For everyday driving in the UK, commuting, city traffic, motorway cruising, this setup works extremely well. Now, let's talk about the number that's making the UK market pay attention: price. Early expectations suggest the JAECOO 7 SHS will sit somewhere around the mid-30,000 range, depending on specification. And that's where things get very interesting, because many rivals, including the Kia Sportage Hybrid, Toyota RAV4 Hybrid, and Volkswagen Tiguan, can easily climb well beyond that once you start adding options. So if JAECOO delivers this level of equipment at that price point, it instantly becomes one of the best value SUVs in the segment. Of course, price alone isn't enough. Buyers also want peace of mind. JAECOO has been expanding its dealer network across the UK and offering competitive warranty coverage. Early indications suggest long warranty support and strong service packages, designed to build trust quickly. And that's critical for any new brand entering a competitive market. So the real question is simple: is the 2026 JAECOO 7 SHS genuinely good enough to challenge the big names? Or is this just the beginning of a much bigger shift in the UK SUV market? Let me know what you think.